Overall, good live. Pack Hype showed a ton of cards, really cool cards that he got from a collection of his. So that was really cool to see. Of course, I don't own any cards personally. So it was nice to actually see some Pokemon cards over the computer screen since I've never held Pokemon, seen Pokemon. I don't even know what Pikachu looks like. So that was cool. Decided to go and do a live. We'll see how long the live goes for, what kind of goobers decided to show up. But yeah, go check out the live over on Pack Hype's channel. Shout out again to Pack Hype for the support and good conversations that we have. What is good, Lechon? Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're having a great weekend. When are we getting another Lechonk video or song or anything like that? I know my son is dying for another LeChonk song. So, regardless, hope you're doing well, my friend. Good to see you. Hopefully, your week has been very good. I appreciate you coming by. Me and you may just hang out and chill for a while. So, um, I don't know if you know who Pack Hype is, LeChonk, but me and him do a live every Friday for a couple hours. So, it starts at what is it? I'm Central, so it's 9 my time, 8 or no, 10 his time. So, yeah, maybe go check it out. You got a pack battle? Cool. Who are you pack battling? Yeah, dude, we're good. We're good, LeChalk. Can't complain. Busy week. It's gonna be a busy weekend, but can't complain. Um, just same old, same old, same old, just different day. So, um, it's all good. Are you excited for this new Rayquaza set? It's very interesting seeing a ton of people trying to pump it up, trying to talk about primals and all kinds of weird stuff that we're just not gonna see. Okay, cool. What are you guys going for? I assume you guys are going for LeChonks with the point system again? That is fair. It is gonna be Mega Rayquaza, though. The only thing we saw was a little glimmer of the EX, the Mega Rayquaza EX that's gonna be coming out in that set, so we'll have to see. It's gonna be interesting. I know people are talking about Primal Groudon, Primal Kyogre, talking about making it this massive set. So kind of along the lines of, Mega Evolutions Base, Ascended Heroes. I don't think it's gonna be that big. I think it's gonna be, your standard 6 SIRs, 2 trainer SIRs, so 4 Pokemon SIRs minus, obviously 3 with the Mega Rayquaza already taken into account, and then 11 to 15 illustration rares probably, more than likely, but we'll see. I mean, Pokemon can do whatever they want. So, did you have any luck with Pitch Black on the Pokemon Center? The Pokemon Center drop this week was absolutely abysmal. So, I don't think a single person hit off that, but yeah, I'm excited for the video. I'm excited to see your video. I'll definitely be checking it out. So I'll look forward to that in the morning. Hopefully you drop that sometime tomorrow. No luck on Pokemon Center. Set size hasn't been bad. Yeah, dude. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you on the set sizes. I think people are just I think the problem with these set sizes as they currently are is after you open up a certain amount of it, or you pull your special illustration rare hit or your illustration rare, depending on what it is, you there's not a lot of stuff that brings you back to keep chasing these smaller sets. But I think that's a good thing. I think it allows for what feels like better hit rates. Um, It just doesn't, you know, it's just I feel like people can't pump it as much, when it's a smaller set. So I don't personally have a problem with it. I'd be cool if Pokemon continues to do small sets for all the way until Winds and Waves or going into Winds and Waves. But I know that it's not a very popular opinion. People want these massive sets. So I appreciate you coming by though. I guess these lives with pack hype are kind of killing the Friday vibes, which is fine. We're just gonna chill, and if everybody leaves, then oh, what's up, Brandon? Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, if everybody leaves, then I'll just turn it off and watch some Shameless or something. Yeah, dude, I agree. I was just talking about LeChonk. I know you just hopped in. Hopefully you had a good week, and I know we've talked here and there this week, but um, yeah, dude, people are pumping this set, talking about it being a massive set, Mega Rayquaza. So we'll really have to wait and see. But a lot of interesting things are going on right now. So I did pre-order Pal World. I'm very excited about that. It doesn't look like it's going to be the greatest TCG of all time as far as artwork wise. The the different artworks that you can pull, they're nothing too groundbreaking, but regardless, we'll do an opening on a live one day. It comes out next month, so it'd be August before we'll do it. But I am looking forward to opening up a box with you guys. Hopefully, you guys enjoy it, but at least it'll be something, right? So work's been brutal. I hear you, dude. Work's been brutal for me too. Yeah, that's a valid point, LeChalk. They are. I don't know if you heard about the Nitos or the dumplings or now people are that's the new trend is buying up Beyblades. So you're right. If there was a toothbrush that they could pump, they would pump up the toothbrush. It's absolutely insane what we're seeing. I are here. What's up, Chew? Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, dude. Yeah, since you don't do Discord, um, the best thing would be to email me. It's I actually can't remember. Is it Brandon? Brandon could probably attach it. Brandon, if you have my email, can you put it um in the chat for LeChonk to just hit me up at some point whenever? I mean, I'm down for sure. I'd be down for sure to. I think that'd be fun. Just to. I'll be honest. Out of you've been the coolest content creator with me besides Pack Hype, um, the whole entire time. So okay, got you. Okay, never mind, Brandon. They're good. Yeah, I just want to make sure you had it. Yeah, no rush or anything like that. I just want to let you know, like I am down for that. I normally just use the Discord app, but I do. Some people have my number and stuff like that as well. So obviously, I'm not going to give that out over a live, but yeah, I'm definitely down for sure. But yeah, also if you guys are interested, I think it's the 25th. So next week, the week coming up, Pack Hype is going to have a non-TCG on a live. So hopefully he asks him some hard burning questions, about reprints, restocks, resupplies, what he's hearing from Pokemon. We did talk about some of that stuff tonight in the live with me and him. So if you're interested in any of that, but he will be having a non on this upcoming week, which is really cool. Um, and then towards the end, you just missed the Team Rocket Joey and Henry's Poke Corner trolling. So you didn't miss too much, but definitely if you guys are looking for content, go check out Pack Hype's channel, go show him some love, and we do a live every single Friday. So we talk about all kinds of different stuff. We talked about Lorcana, we talked about One Piece and Gundam. It seems like he really likes Gundam a lot, which is interesting. Those guys do suck. They do. They really do suck. They're both they think they're funny, like, they really do think that they're funny. You pulled the Froakie thinking it was the Greninja from Chaos. Hey, you can't go wrong with that Froakie. The Froakie, the Frogadier. Honestly, I think they're better than the Greninja, so I would be very happy. I'd be just as excited pulling the Froakie and the Frogadier, Ampharos, Tauros. There's Chaos Rising. I know Pack Hype doesn't like Chaos Rising. He thinks that Chaos Rising is dookie. I definitely think Chaos Rising's overpriced for what it is, with it being a small set. Not the best Greninja in the world. I think that, some people think Shroud of Fable's really good. Other people, like me, think that Twilight Masquerade is really good. Um, but those illustration rares, man, honestly, 9 out of 10 of them are freaking fantastic. So I think long term Chaos will do very well. But yeah, 230 right now is just kind of crazy. And of course, being a small set too. I love the small set. With them traditionally they don't hold the strongest um compared to these bigger sets. So I guess we're gonna rock without the earbuds. If the audio gets messed up, just let me know. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Yeah, the Claydol is awesome. I love the Claydol or Claydol. I love the Claydol with the starry background over the ocean or lake or whatever you want to call it. I think it's freaking incredible. More hype than Ascended? I don't think it's gonna have more hype than Ascended. I know people are trying to pump it right now that way. Me and LeChonk were talking about that earlier in the live. By the way, what's up, Thomas? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for showing love in the live with me and Pack Hype, and then of course coming over here. I know it's a little bit later, so I just wanted to let you know I saw you, brother, and I appreciate you, coming and hanging out with me personally for a little bit of time. But yeah, to answer your question, I think the Rayquaza is gonna have hype to it. It's gonna be very hard for Pokemon to do a crappy job with the Mega Rayquaza SAR, SIR, depending on the language, right? Um, but I don't think it's gonna be a big set. I don't think that we're going to get on the levels of Ascended Heroes or Mega Evolutions, Destined Rivals, Temporal, or any of Paldea Evolved. I don't think it's going to be like a two-parter set or three sets for Japanese put into one. I think it's going to be one for one. So I think it's going to be very hyped. Obviously, try to get it from the Pokemon Center if you can, which is a shit show. I was gonna make a video about it. I don't even know if I'm gonna make a video about it, but try to get your booster box um, from the Pokemon Center. Get your two PCTBs. Call it a day, and when the set is more readily available and cheaper to buy, that is the time to buy them. In my personal opinion. But yeah, I think it's probably I think it'll be around the high 2s when it comes out. I don't think it'll be 300, um, because I really think that going into next year, we're gonna see a drop off in demand and hype, and, I think I think a lot of what we're seeing is Pokemon doing this intentionally on purpose to, create FOMO and hype, so, yeah, I definitely I think that, I don't think it'll be anything on Ascended Heroes, so a Rayquaza attack rare would be really cool. Yeah, I love the mega attack rares. I think that they're awesome. I wish that they would continue to do them, you know? We could get one if the Radiant Ruby Shining Sapphire is a real thing. There is potential that they could do that with it being a specialty set. Just based off what we've seen, if they were going to continue to do those, we would have gotten them in perfect order: Chaos Rising, Pitch Black. We haven't. So there's potential. I think it's unlikely, but that would be really cool. I think the Mega Attack Rares are an awesome little gimmick, and I'm really enjoying those Mega Attack Rares. Um, I've only got a couple of them. I got the
the Mega Attack Rare Gengar, I got the Mega Attack Rare Electros, I got the Mega Attack Rare Lucario from the poster collection. I was gonna go pick up the Mega Attack Rare Diancie today, but I just decided to hold off and wait till next week. But I definitely got to get that Mega Attack Rare. I think that's a beautiful Mega Attack Rare. It really pops with the pink, so definitely need to get that as well. Pitch Black drop was a disaster. Yeah, Pitch Black was a disaster, and the drop that they did, what was it, yesterday with the bundles and then the illustration series 2, apparently they pulled it. So it never even went live. There was no checkouts. They just pulled it. Shout out to Whack. I don't even know if Whack is going to watch this live. Um, he messaged me and said that the last when we had Chaos Rising, he said Chaos Rising was going to be the last good drop. And he's been right so far. And honestly, I feel like Pokemon is doing this on purpose. You would think the number one IP in the world, they would have the infrastructure, they would have, the securities in place, they would have everything to be able to hold up and deal with, the mass influx of people. I don't believe that all of a sudden we've double, triple, quadrupled the amount of people that are trying to get, even with the information of no more Scarlet and Violet, no more booster bucks, reprints, wave one, wave two is all you're gonna get, da 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 da. I don't think that, it's made it where the system can't handle people. I really feel like Pokemon is trying to be like, okay, it was easy to get Pokemon Center drop. Now it's not. Now it's really hard. Okay, so now people are gonna be like fucking drooling at the mouth and foaming to be able to get the 30th anniversary, the Rayquaza set. So um at least I hope that's what it is, because it doesn't make any sense how this whole entire market, this whole entire bull run the last 2 years, we've Pokemon has been, like, the number 1 place, and it hasn't been perfect. I'm not saying that it's been perfect. I've missed out. I'm sure some of you guys have missed out, but for the most part, it was pretty reliable, and lately, it's just been a shit show. So either they're cooking with something to get ready for the 30th, as far as maybe some bot security, trying to see, okay, like these group of people are acting suspicious on the back end. Let's hopefully that's what it is. Um, or they're just doing it on purpose. I don't see how it could be any other option. Um, yeah. What's up, Lab? Good to see you. Hopefully you've been doing well. It's been a while since we talked. So hopefully everything's doing good for you up in the Philly area. Thanks for coming by and hanging out with us for however long you see fit. So, good to see you though. Good to see you for sure. Blood and teeth. Good to see you, buddy. How's the vending going up in Cali? What have you picked up lately? If you guys have picked up anything lately interesting, feel free to shoot it down in the comments. But yeah, good to see you guys. Thanks again for just coming out, hanging out. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. We have a good time for however long you guys decide to hang out for. Yeah, Xavier, as far as those two Dragonite, which is cool, like fantastic for you. Hopefully you really like those cards. I'm not a huge fan of the Dragonite. I know everybody said that. I don't care for the Dragonite. I don't care for the Dragonite Mega Attack Rare. My goal is to collect all of the mega attack rares, and I'm not a fan of the Hawlucha mega attack rare, but I love the SIR. So, yeah, for me, I just don't care for it. So it's kind of like on the back burner of cards that I want to have for the collection. But I definitely want to have every single one of the mega attack rares from Ascended Heroes. I think that they will look cool on a binder page for sure. But what is it, $50 right now? Maybe even 60 bucks. I'm not paying that, and I'm not a huge fan of the Japanese because of the English texting. I don't like it. I like the Japanese one. So, yeah, Lechonk, it's one of those you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, right? You might have people, and I'm not gonna name any people, but you might have people that every single drop they hit, no like, they've hit every drop, not had a single issue, not missed anything, and if we go to a lottery system, you just may not get picked. And they're gonna be like, "Well, that's unfair because I haven't ever missed." But then at the same time, you might have people that they just can't hit it. They're working, they can't have their phone. There's no winning. What they need to do is with that text system, they need to come up with a text like what people were talking about, where they'll send you a code. And with that code, you have a certain amount of time to be able to get in, get your pre-orders or your restock or whatever the case may be, and then if you just miss out, you miss out. Um, I feel like that's a lot more fair to everybody, but there's loopholes around it. Again, it's right now with the way the market is and how hot everything is, you just really can't. Pokemon is they're in a situation that they just can't. No one, they can't make everybody happy, I guess is my point. I do wish they would figure something out, so been work grinding. I hear you, bro. Work's been brutal for me too, so, like I said, I appreciate you hanging out with us for as long as you see fit. Yeah, Xavier, that's true. It's hard to tell though, truly what the wait time is. Full transparency, Pitch Black, I had no problem. I The queue went live, I checked in, or, I got my time, and my time just it went up a little bit, but not too much. I was around like an hour and a half. It went up to 2, stabilized around an hour and a half, and just went down, no problems. The most recent queue with Prismatic Evolutions and the Illustration Partner 2 boxes, those things I went from 2 hours to 6 hours to 4 hours to 8 hours to 6 hours to 12 hours. It was all over the place. So, um, I don't know about Pitch Black again. I didn't have that problem, but for the new queues, like the new queue that we had, it's just hard to tell because nothing went live. So with nothing going live, the queue times, you guys know, you click on the queue, and as soon as you click on the queue, you're looking at 27 days, 4 hours, and 30 minutes. It's hard to tell. I don't believe that, we've quadrupled the amount of people that are trying to hit on the Pokemon Center over the last week or 2 based off of the information that people got from anonymous sources from distro. Or if you're me, apparently just stole it from other content creators and made a video about it. So whichever fits your narrative, I just struggle with that. Pop series cards. Okay. Okay, I'll take a look at those. I know, you made that video, which I thought was a great video. You made the video, I think it was Chinese, where you could get the pins and the little figures, and then you also were talking about those stickers. Like, when you get down to it, there are so many options of things to collect, enjoy, not necessarily invest into. But, I'd love those videos, especially from you. It's just it's a breath of fresh air. I'm not subscribed to a lot of content creators, especially on the Pokemon side anymore, but I definitely am subscribed to you, and, I think you do a great job with your content. So, it's not that investor stuff, you know? It's not the graph go up, it's not these are the top 7 cards that I'm going into right now. You're very niche focused with your Lechonks, but I think it's needed. Yeah. What's up, Drew? That would have been cool, a mega attack rare and then a Mew mega attack rare. I was gonna say everything's looking like we're gonna get a Mega Mewtwo set, like our Mega Raichu. Um, Sets that are supposed to be coming out. I don't think they're gonna be mega attack rares though, but that would be cool. Um, Hopefully, I'm wrong. Hopefully Pokemon cooks up a mega attack rare. I know you're a big I believe you're a big Mewtwo and Mew fan, if I'm not mistaken. So, hopefully for you, you get those mega attack rares, and hopefully we get a Lechonk SIR at some point for Lechonka Mania. So, check out the code. Absolutely, Brandon. Yep. But I'm black kept getting reset on multiple. Yeah, dude, I know. A lot of people had issues with the pitch black drop. Um, like I said, the Discord, everybody. I don't even think Inept got it, if I'm not mistaken. He might have hit on it, but actually, I don't think he did. And normally, he has no problem. So it doesn't matter what you do, what you don't do. Um, it's just it's all luck. Honestly, it's just luck. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I was fully transparent. Again, I was trying to double dip, um, but I was gonna try to help you guys. I know it's easy for me to say that because I didn't get it, or I did get it, or I didn't even try, depending on what you think of me. But yeah, I did try to double dip, and it error 17 me. So since been Phantasmal, it's been rough. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was really worried about Chaos Rising, and then you guys know I missed out on Perfect Order, which was fine. I'm not a huge fan of Perfect Order. I mean, I think it's a good set for players and people to just open up packs. I've only opened up 10 packs of Chaos Rising. That's all I've been able to find. Um, I I've not had good luck with that. I know that ten packs is not a ton to open, but I think I opened up maybe 20 packs of Perfect Order, and I think I pulled 8 or 9 hits out of those 15, 20 packs. Chaos Rising, I pulled a Dragalge full art and maybe like 3 EXs, no illustration rares or anything like that. So, again, I know it's not a lot. That's all I can find. I my Walmart does limits of 5, so I try to respect everybody. Um, but yeah, I mean, I wanted Chaos Rising really bad. I think it's a great set. Roxy, good to see you. Hopefully, you're having a great week. I know you're happy because Surging Sparks is starting to take off. So I know that you were wanting to be the like one of the heaviest bags of Surging Sparks, and we're up $30. What is it? A month per box. So I'm sure you're having a great week. I forgot. Got our box. We hit it. Nothing can be cheap. Yeah, nothing's cheap. No, me and Pack Hype. I was talking to Pack Hype about that. It's everybody's going. At first it's okay. English is expensive. Let me go to Japanese. Okay, everyone goes to Japanese. Then they want to go to Korean, or Chinese or whatever. Right? It doesn't have to be in a specific order, but they go to this language, and then that language becomes too expensive. Then they go to that. It's just there's so much interest. There's so much just flipping money making mentality. It's going all over the place. Hopefully we see that slow down a little bit over the next couple months with the whole Lorcana situation, and Lorcana really starting to take off and seeing a ton of demand. But we all know it'll be back. 30th anniversary, it'll be back. Rayquaza set, it'll be back. I'm very interested to see how the Japanese set for what is it, Storm Emeralda. I'm very curious to see how that is going to do at first, and then in the months coming up to it before we get our English one. I think it's gonna be probably a very expensive box, but I am interested to see, because we won't be getting ours till I think it said November 6th, and that set for Japanese comes out, I believe it's July 16th. So in less than a month, we'll get the Japanese one, and then we won't get our English for what, 5 months? Yeah, Lechonk, yeah. Look, there's just the problem is there's so many Pokemon, it's hard for it's hard for Pokemon to make good cards for every like, and what I mean by good cards, I'm talking about like illustration rares or SIRs. Like, if they're going to do that, they're going to tend to focus on the big ones. Your Greninjas, your Darkrai's, your Charizards, your Venusaurs, your Lucarios, Gardevoirs. They're not gonna focus on like Lechonk or like Wailord or stuff like that, unfortunately. You would think that they would with how many sets they come out with. You would think at some point that they would, they just don't. Yeah, I remember in Upton, isn't there a Lechonk attack rare? No, there is no Lechonk attack rare that I'm aware of, since they're hard to get. Yeah, Xavier, yeah, I would not, if you've gotten one, I would not open it. Um, I would just wait. Especially if you I mean, Danny Phantom talks about it a lot. If you get it for MSRP, why does it matter? Just go ahead and open it if you want to open it. That is fair to say. I would personally get another one before you open it. But that's just me. I also think that Chaos Rising ETB, the normal ETB, looks incredible. I think it looks better than the freaking PC ETB. So I do. Yeah, I know you love your surging sparks, and hey, it's working. It's playing out just like we called it. We've been talking about it for a while. Um, I don't think it's a surprise that surging sparks is doing well. Starting to climb up the ranks, starting to catch up. So, you know, short to medium term, I don't really know what it's gonna do. It's been printed a lot. There's a lot of surging sparks, especially booster boxes out there. If we see a correction or a crash next year, could we see boxes, even if it's out of the reprint window, or we know we're not going to get any more reprints? Could we see it go down to 180 a booster box? There's potential just off the amount that's been printed, but I think the box looks good. I think the set's pretty strong. So right now, though, that was a no-brainer. All the people going into Prizzy, um, and even Ascended Heroes, I think Surging's going to outperform it at least a short period. Nina Alakazam set, Fates Collide was a minute ago. Yeah, for sure. There's definitely potential for a Mega Alakazam. I mean, honestly, the Mega Alakazam from back in the day, that was one of my favorite artworks. I j- there was a couple different of the artworks. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like an alternate art style. Mega Alakazam, he was like sitting, kind of like cross leg, third eye. It was a really cool card. That was one of my favorite ones. And then the Mega Houndoom back in the day was a freaking awesome card as well. Um, there's definitely potential for it. Again, I think it's if you play the game, you kind of know ahead of time what should be coming down the pipeline, but I would love to see a Mega Alakazam. Honestly, over a Mega Blastoise as well. Um, yeah, Mega Alakazam, Mega Houndoom. Those would be like my top two. If we get a Mega Tyranitar and we don't get a Mega Alakazam, Pokemon just shit the bed on that. So straight up. I know it's funny. Shout out to your boy Henry. He popped into Pack Hype's live. Him and Joey were having a good time jerking each other off. Um, but I did pick up two Alakazams from 151 Chinese. My daughter, I got one in a slab for her, but I also do have one as well. They're like 30 bucks. I love it in Japanese. I love it in freaking English. I just didn't want to pay it 30 bucks. Oh, I thought it was a screaming deal, but I didn't show them it because I don't own any cards. So shout out to those boys though, the Cali gang. Hopefully they can move on with their lives and stop the stupid bullshit. But if not, fuck them. We can party as well. Surging Sparks is one of your favorite looking booster boxes. Yeah, it's a good looking booster box too. It's it looks good for sure. I like Surging Sparks a lot. So I know like Pack High P is not a huge fan of it, but I think very easily it's some of the top ones. Um it's one of the top probably three boxes. I know a lot of people talk about Temporal Forces being like their number one. So you have Temporal. I've heard a shit ton of people talking about Temporal Forces. Um, so you got Temporal, you got Destined Rivals. I don't know how strong Destined Rivals is going to be to the short to medium term. Long term, it's got Team Rocket in it. You can't deny it. I just feel like it shouldn't be at the price point that it's at. I don't get that nostalgia feel from that set. Um, but regardless, you still have people that talk about Destined Rivals being the best. You've got Surging Sparks, Paldea Evolved. I don't like Paldea Evolved. I know my boy Brandon, if he's still awake, he loves the Paldea Evolved set on top of Stellar Crown. But I think it's funny because people talk about how deep Destined Rivals is and how much fun they have opening up Destined Rivals. But what's interesting is that it feels like Paldea Evolved is a bigger set than Destined Rivals. It feels like it's got more special illustration rares, more illustration rares than Destined Rivals. The pull rates on Paldea Evolved are way more forgiving and feel better than in than in Destined Rivals. I understand Destined Rivals has a Mewtwo. I understand it has a Garchomp. It's got a Misty Psyduck. It's got, Team Rocket's Moltres. I get that it has some of these other cards, but for me, I'm starting to feel like if one of those two sets has to be the set of the era, I almost have to give it to Paldea Evolved. I almost feel like Paldea Evolved has to be that secret sleeper that's going to surprise people. And not enough people are thinking about that because they're just bought into this nostalgia Team Rocket bullshit that when they you take off your rose colored glasses, you're going to realize there's not nostalgia. It's not really even Team Rocket. At least for me. Maybe maybe I just hate Destined Rivals with a burning passion. Um, but I hear people's arguments for Destined Rivals and I don't see it. And it makes me think of like how they evolved instead. Um, so I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of that. I might be way off base. What's up, Drunk Ninja? How's it going in Canada? Are you excited for the Pitch Black release? Do you do pre-release events? I'm sure you're gonna have a bunch of people pulling that Darkrai. So I'll be very interested to see how many people show up for the release whenever we can get your presence on a live. But the secret rare with Umbreon and Lugia is better. Interesting. I do like that card also. There's just something about that Mega Alakazam again. Just I don't know. I just think it's really cool. But yeah, the one with the Lugia and the Umbreon, it's a super cool card as well for sure. I know that that's probably what your favorite Alakazam artwork of all time, more than likely. Um, I don't know. What do you think, Blab? If you're still here, what do you think about the 151 Alakazam? Yeah, no, Brandon, I know for sure. I'm just saying, like, I just wanted to include because I know you love Stellar Crown. I know you love Paldea Evolved. I don't think you love Destined Rivals, though. I think you know what Destined Rivals could be, but or like according to the hive mind. But I don't think I think you're in the same boat with me. Like we ain't paying no $680 for a fucking Destined Rivals booster box. When market's 550, like that's some serious brain dead activity right there. Temporal Force Metagross. Yeah. I know you love that Metagross. I think don't you love the Ascended Heroes one as well? That Meryl is a beautiful card as well. I need to pick that up. I actually thought my daughter would love that card. We've seen it multiple times at the LGS, and she does not care for that card as well at all. Was three Japanese set combined. Yep, it's a massive set. But the booster box is not. Oh, I love Journey Together. Xavier. I love Journey Together. I think Journey Together is going to surprise people. I really truly do. I think it's going to be. It has the potential. I don't want to say it's going to be, but it has the potential to be like Fusion Strike, where everybody laughed at, it, everybody made fun of it. You couldn't give the box away for $80, right? I feel that way about Journey Together. I do. I think that Salamence is a super slept on artwork. I think at some point, because I feel like Salamence is a pretty popular Pokemon. Um, I don't know where it ranks on all, the Pokemon tier list. I guess that's probably like a Krabby fact. Krabby would have that information. But that Salamence artwork, I think, is definitely probably top. I don't know. Scarlet and Violet did have so many good artworks. I would say it's probably top 20, and that's me being generous. Like I would put it like top 10, but I would say probably top 20 artworks of the era. I just think there's not enough people looking at that Salamence right now. It's a fantastic artwork. Do do do. So interesting. Why do you think you're gonna get more people showing up because you think the Darkrai is a stronger card than the Greninja? 151 box I got from Walmart. It's hard not to open. Yeah, I saw something. I think the 151 Alakazam box, $115. Crazy. Crazy what 151 is doing. I do not believe in 151. I don't. Um Some people are saying it's slowing down. Some people are saying it's starting to regress. I don't know, but 115 bucks for what is it? 3 packs, I think, maybe 4 packs. 4 packs seems more realistic for that price. That's just crazy to me. But you I'll be honest, I don't think you're missing much with 151. Um as far as opening it. I just buy the singles at this point if they're singles you're wanting. 151 Alakazam, probably best art in the set, to be honest. Interesting. I could see that. I could. I'm a big fan of the Blastoise. I love me some Blastoise. I feel like he doesn't get a lot of love, but yeah, I definitely I prefer that. I think it would probably be Blastoise, Alakazam, Venusaur, that Charizard. I put it below like the freaking. I know it's crazy, but below like the Zapdos. I'm just not a huge fan of the Zapdos. I would even rather have the Blastoise full art, even the Charizard full art, than the freaking um, the freaking SIR Charizard. I just hate that card. I do not like it. Adro, I see you down there, buddy. I appreciate you coming to the live. It's been a while. Hopefully, you've been doing well. Um, Hope everything's good. Hopefully, you've been grading, making that money, making that killing. You know what I'm saying? But um, thanks for coming by for a while. Poliwhirl. Poliwhirl is a really good one. Dragonair is another good card in that set as well. Yeah. I mean, 151's fine. It's just not like this generational, incredible. face ripping, melting set. I think the ETB and the SPC. I think the design of the boxes look better than the freaking what's inside of the the set. Yeah, Brandon. Hopefully, I felt like I said something along those lines. So hopefully that's right. That's crazy. There's more hype over Pitch Black than Chaos Rising. Interesting. Very interesting on that. Now, let me ask you guys this question. What set out of small sets? So Phantasmal, Perfect Order, Chaos Rising, Pitch Black. Which set, which two sets would you put at your top? They can be in order, not in order, doesn't matter. Just top two sets of of those two small ones. Or the four small ones. Imagine if the 151 Zard was tough. Yeah, dude. I mean, they just honestly, the canyon's cool. You know, the desert's cool. Just make it look like freaking Charizard. It looks like a fat Charizard with that. It looks like a midget Charizard. So yeah, 151 Pikachu's up there as well. Even the Snorlax. I mean, the Snorlax promo is better than the freaking Charizard. Can't deny the Poliwhirl. No, you cannot. I can't pull it up, Xavier. I'm on my phone, so I cannot pull it up. I made a video going over Pitch Black. If you want to go check that out. If not, there are tons of other people that have made videos about Pitch Black. Pablo, Mitch. Um, I don't know other people, um, but yeah, it's okay. There's some good illustration rares. There's a couple good illustration rares for me personally. Darkrai is a good card. The Morpeko's fine. The Zeraora, I'm not feeling it. It's kind of like the Meowth for me. Full glorified full art with texturing, and then the Chandelure, I don't feel that card as well. So overall, Pitch Black, I'd probably put it third. Um, it'd be Chaos Phantasmal, you can argue. I think Chaos has a stronger overall set than Phantasmal does. Of course, Phantasmal has the generational Charizard. Then I would put Pitch Black and then Perfect Order. Um, I'm just not a huge Zygarde fan. I do feel like the illustration rares though for Perfect Order are stronger than the illustration rares for Pitch Black. But then, you know, you have that Darkrai, and then, like I said, the Morpeko's not that bad as well. So I would just give it the slight edge over Perfect Order. Agency Oklahoma. I don't know. I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means. So I don't know if you know if you know. Let's see. Chaos and Phantasmal. Chaos for all around set. Yeah, exactly, Brandon. Boom. Perfect order, chaos, then Phantasmal. Interesting. Yeah, dude. I know, Drunk, you love Perfect Order. You are a huge fan of Perfect Order. Um, I know I just shit on Perfect Order. I like Perfect Order as well. So, um, everyone say goodnight to Blab. He's going to bed. So you don't look at spoilers. Yeah, you're not missing much, honestly. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Brady. You know, me and you are we're about on the same page. So yeah, Xavier. I mean, Darkrai is cool. I've always liked Darkrai. There's some really great. I don't know. It's take it with a grain of salt. Okay. For me personally, XY, there are some great Darkrai full art cards. Um, and I think there might be some in no, it's XY. It's not. It's not black and white. There might be a couple in black and white, but yeah, look up Darkrai Full Arts. Some, I mean, they're really great artworks for me personally, in my opinion. They're not the same full arts that we get nowadays. Um, but yeah, I mean that Crown Zenith Darkrai is a fantastic card. You know, the the Mega Darkrai is interesting for sure. Um, I think it's a really cool card. I don't know if it's connective arts like they're trying to say it is, because of Agawa with the Crown Zenith, God biblical cards. But it's a cool card. It's black. You know, it looks spooky, alienish. So can't complain about it. But I've heard I've heard it's apparently a generational card. I'm sorry, I don't see it being a generational card. But again, artwork is subjective. So if you're a massive Darkrai fan, then maybe this is a generational card for you. I still think the Crown Zenith is probably a better overall artwork than the Mega Darkrai. Almost said Knight to Blabbers. Umbreon Darkrai is nice. I do have Xavier, I do have the Umbreon Darkrai alternate art promo, the Black Star promo. I do have that in a PSA 9. It should be a freaking PSA 10. It is so clean. There is no whitening. It is centered. It's beautiful. Um, but PSA just refuses to give me a 10. So um, I absolutely love that card. I've had it forever. I had the Umbreon, or I had the Deoxys and the Espeon one as well, the promo from back in the day that you got out of the tins, but it was kind of beat. It was probably like mod play, so I went ahead and sold it last year. But the Umbreon Darkrai, it's too freaking clean. If PSA ever decides to cut back on how harsh they are, that puppy has got to go back to PSA. It should be a frickin' 10 all day long. I think I've showed it a couple times. But if not, if you come by tomorrow or you watch the live from tomorrow, I'll show that card off. I'll show you guys the card. And you know, to the couple people, Roxy, Thomas, Chew, um, I want you. I'm sure you guys understand this, but I just want to go ahead and say this. When I was live with Pack Hype and Henry's being a fucking cocksucker and Joey's being a cocksucker, I'm not going to show my cards or show a card or a recent pickup because somebody tells me to. I'm going, you know, especially when they're telling me to do it and they're saying, "Well, this is a Pokemon Live or this is a Pokemon channel or whatever." Like that's going to make me do the opposite, especially when I don't fuck with one of them and Joey's just been a clown this whole time. So, you guys know I've shown you guys cards that I pick up. I've shown you guys cards that I have. But I just want to make I'm not going to do something because a grown ass man tells me to do something. I will do the absolute fucking opposite of that. Um, I do not give a shit if it affects Pack Hype's channel or what people think about me. I could give two shits what those two people think about me personally. So I just want to make that abundantly clear, um, in case you guys, because like I saw Pablo in there talking like some crazy shit, like, "Oh yeah, Henry's the real one. Took me a while to see that," and like whatever. So I just wanted to get that out there. You know, if y'all think I'm fake, y'all do whatever you think is best. You know, it's a running joke, but I understand some people would be like, "Why don't you just do what they say?" Because I don't fucking like them. So, Xavier, if you're still here, I have not. I have not sent off the PSA in probably a year and a half. So, I would not send off the PSA. I wouldn't send off the PSA, tag, AGS. I would not send off period. These FedEx, USPS, UPS people, they know the addresses for these companies. They will they can steal your cards. So I also don't like what PSA's been doing. I would prefer to send it over to Tag, but I'm also like kind of scared of Tag just because why y'all so negative? Bro, Pablo, you have to understand. Go look up the fucking definition of negative. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but w- when you and people say like like negative, it's not when you are literally stating a fact that doesn't make you a negative human being. That makes you a real human being that actually is not afraid to be themselves and express feelings and emotions. So, like, also, if you don't want people to think away of you, not you, but Ludwig, I don't know what Ludwig said. I'm just saying, like, I'm just so over, fucking other content creators and people coming and saying like my channel's negative. I'm a negative person. Like, I'm just over it. So just, I'm gonna make that like a fucking banned word over here. But yeah, um, yeah. Long story short, I wouldn't send over to PSA right now. I would wait. Um, I unfortunately I don't really like trust any company, so I don't know if I'll ever get the card graded, like regraded. It's currently graded as a 9, but it deserves to be a 10. So maybe I will at some point, maybe I won't. I don't know. I don't personally care like super a lot, even though it's like a $5,000 card right now. But you won't be invited to the cool kids table. Yeah. No, for sure. For sure. Again, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to I just need to explain to you guys. I know that you guys know this, but I don't want to leave any doubts in people's heads that are like, well, why doesn't broke show cards? Like I've shown cards in the past. I know it's not every fucking day or every week. Um, but I'm not again, it just comes down to the reason I didn't do it was because I'm not gonna give these fucking bullies and these pieces of shit what they want. So, no, I mean not really, Xavier. You just fucking Henry doesn't like me because I said something about Henry, and then Joey, I don't know what his problem is. So they just do the same bullshit. They thought it was funny, and I'm just not playing their games. Sound is desynced. Is my sound still desynced? I have no idea. Is my sound desynced? Because I know that throws off the lives. I can put these headphones in.
UPS stole my cards recently now. Coincidence that you said that. Yeah. Yep. UPS, FedEx, it doesn't matter. They like I said, especially if you're sending off to grading, a lot of these places are in California. They know the addresses. They're like, "Hey, I wonder why there's so many of these boxes going to the same exact place." So it's just a super dangerous time to send off any cards that you actually care about, um, in my opinion. Yeah, grading with PSA right now is a true gamble. Yeah, it was gambling before. Yeah, that's a very fair point. It is gambling, and it's even worse now, especially at freaking $80 a pop. Um, yeah, dude. Yeah, it's crazy that Pack Hype is going to be doing that. But again, if your card's worth, you know, 200, $500 raw, I mean, if you pre-grade and you do your prayers and maybe slip them $100 bill, it might pay off. But yeah, it's just all around dangerous time right now. Is my audio any better? Is my voice to mouth ratio good? Cali boys are so sensitive. People say I'm sensitive blood, and I'm not a Cali boy, I promise. So, um, gotta pay the troll toll with these people. That's all good. No way. I know BOA. What is SP? What is that? I don't I feel like I know what an SP is, but I've opened up 1 pack of One Piece, but yeah, that Mewtwo Destined Rivals, that's rough. It's what, like 450, 500 right now? That's and of course, they mark it as what, not deliverable, and then they never take any pictures or anything like that as well. Yeah, honestly, I know this is crazy. The best luck has always been with USPS. I don't know why, but they tend to not steal stuff nearly as much. FedEx, UPS, it's a massive it's not a massive, it's a gamble, I'll say that. I have a kid, I'm a raw type of guy. Yeah, but you put your cards in like a fake slab though, right? Pablo, Imma tell you this, don't go picking shit with Lud. I know he came after you first, whatever, feel however you want to, like, you can, but don't go I don't wanna hear any crying if you say something to Lud and Lud gets up your shit and you don't like his response. So, like, it's just yeah. I mean, you can ask him. He doesn't have to answer your question, but I'm just saying, like, oh, okay. I thought UPS and FedEx, though, I thought they were government. Are they not government? I mean, it's so crazy sending your cards across USPS, even if you do, like, a freaking envelope next day or 2 day. I'll tell you this though, if you are gonna send off cards, like if you're trying to flip right now, with how hot PSA 10s are and even the raws are going for right now, if you are trying to get them graded, I would overnight that stuff. I would not do 3 to 5 day or, 5 to 7 days. I every time I sent cards off, I always paid for next day. I did not care. I wanted to know that the next freaking day, my cards were going to be where they were supposed to be. The acrylic holder that you buy at the store. Okay, I didn't know you could buy them at the store. I put some of mine in fake slabs. I'm not gonna lie. I bought them off Amazon. There's like 20 bucks for 5 of them. I'm gonna put my Mega Attack Rare Gengar in there. Of course, I'm gonna double sleeve it though, but there ain't no shame in it. No, no first partners, series 2 for me. My Walmarts, we got scalpers out the wazoo. I know, Thomas got a case, and I don't know anybody. I don't know, Choo Choo, he got some as well. I think he got 4, 2 from Target, 2 from somewhere else. I don't know about anybody else, but no. I mean, I wanna open some, that's for sure. I'd like to open up 1, keep 1 sealed, hopefully get Johto. That would be really cool to be able to get Johto, but, if not, I'll probably just buy it at some point. You kept 3, gonna open with your daughter? Awesome. Who are you going for? I imagine probably Johto. Honestly, all the, generations, all the starters for the second one, I think they did a fantastic job with the artworks on these compared to the first one. Not that they were bad, but I feel like they made these a lot kind of, I don't know, almost kind of fit the theme for that generation, like black and white's kind of, uh, almost dark, mysterious, spooky, in a way. kind of that's what I get from the vibe. You know, Johto, it's just hard. You can't mess up Johto, you know? And be careful. I can't remember. Go check out Danny Phantom's video. Or is this mappable? Apparently, there's a Pikachu, I think, hiding in one of the Johto cards. So be on the lookout for that. If you've not seen that video, I suggest you go check out that video. I can't remember what card it is, but he did find a Pikachu in there. So maybe it's the next freaking what was it? Bulbasaur? I think it was Bulbasaur. That Pikachu was in the background. Your Walmart's done with Pokemon? Yeah, I found like I said, I got 5 Chaos Rising the other day. There were some tins left, some of the, Lumiose City tins, and then the Chaos Rising packs, that was it. So I picked up my 5, and I didn't go back the next day, but, I've been busy working, so, I'll go tomorrow. I gotta go tomorrow to Walmart in the morning. We'll see if they got anything left. If they do, I'll definitely pick some up. I just wanna pull something from Chaos, man. I wanna get either the freaking Froakie, the Frogadier, the Sliggoo. If I had to choose if I had to choose, I want the Sliggoo the most. That's probably my freaking top illustration rare that I want from that set. I'm a huge, Gumi and Gudra fan, so, hopefully there's some packs left. It was already low. That was on Thursday, so there's probably not shit left, but we'll see. You finished series 1? Yeah. Um, yeah, I know people's goal is to collect them all. I just I got, Kanto, I want Johto and Hoenn, and I'm good. That's all that I want. Um, Anything extra is cool, but if not, I wasn't a huge fan of Series 1. I know that Series 1, again, had the Kanto. They had also had Mega Evolutions Base. It had Phantasmal Flames, in there as well. So definitely stronger pack artwork or stronger packs than in the Series 2, with it being Perfect Order Chaos Rising. But for me, it's all about freaking, like, what it has to offer. Like, and so for me, I'd like to have a box of Series 2 and Series 3. I don't know Pablo. I don't know where Whack is. He came into Pack Hypes live. He said, "I just wanted to say hi and good night." So I don't know where Whack is. Yeah, yeah, dude. I'm the same way. Yeah, and I do feel bad for Danny. I wonder what he's gonna do. I know he came out with that video that said if by the end of this year he wasn't at 1,000,000 subscribers, he was gonna quit YouTube. I hope he doesn't do that. We need more people like Danny around, even though I know his content, I don't know, like, it is collector, but it's not collector. It's definitely, like, is it worth it? I feel like we need more people like Danny on YouTube. So I hope he doesn't leave, but I understand why if he does. There's people that probably don't care nearly as much as he does or do nearly as much as he does, and, they are way more successful on YouTube than he is. So I don't know, but yeah, he's not gonna get to 1,000,000 by the end of this year, unfortunately. So here's the thing, Pablo. So Danny, he made a video that he put a lot of time and effort. I think he hired some people from his Discord. I think it was like Pokemon 101. It came out, I don't know, like a month ago. and he was really excited for that, and he in his video before it came out, he was talking about how he really wants to make less about the money and more about, just Pokemon, like the cards, the art, like what makes the set. Um, I'm going to assume that that video flopped because he's making videos about the things that he said he didn't want to make videos about. So, I that's why Ludwig said it seems like he's just making what gets the views. He is very positive. Most of his views are newer people that mainly care about the money. He's trying his best, but the hobby has shifted so drastically. Yep, no, for sure. I mean, like I said, mad respect to Danny. Danny is I don't know if it's just his OG mentality, but and I know some people don't like Danny. I know some people have said they've met him in person and he's blown him off and done stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know him on a personal level. Um, the only time I ever communicated with him was when my I ordered a Destin Rivals booster box from him and it was acting like it was lost in transportation and he was like, "Yeah, let me know if it updates in a day or two. If not, I'll send you one." And I was like, "Oh, it's good. It's sent. Thanks. Da da da." And then, I've tried to have some other correspondence with him when I was trying to liquidate last year, and he never got back or anything like that. So, you know, we're all human at the end of the day. We do the best that we can, but I think for sure, is the Pokemon hobby or the Pokemon space a better place with or without Danny? I think 110% people would rather have 100 Dannys in the Pokemon space than some of these other creators, maybe even including myself. You know, um, if I'm even considered a creator. So I definitely hope we don't lose Danny. But yeah, I mean, if freaking PokeRev, I don't know how many subscribers CTR has, but um, yeah, I know people complain about Danny. They talk about his videos take forever to get to the point, or he's goofy or whatever. So I don't know. Too many. Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch CTR anymore, but, I also think that he's okay to have he's good for the hobby, he's real for the most part, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, Brandon, let me know. Or let me know what you guys think about CTR. I mean, he's he says what he wants to say, that's for sure. Um, and honestly, I can appreciate that to an extent, that's kind of how I wanted my channel to be, where we can joke around and if we want to say some crazy gay stuff to each other back and forth, like we can do that. Like I wanted to feel like we're hanging out like with the boys, like we're all out just getting a beer, you know, um, but I do not agree with all the things that CTR has done. But that's why I feel like when you let the money become the biggest financial, like you make the money more important than the cards or than the joy that it brings you, that's where you start to lose sight of who you were. But then at that point, you're too big to fail. Um, like, perfect example, Team Rocket Joey could come out and tell you that he hates Pokemon, like, with a burning passion, He does not open up anything. He does not have any cards. He only collects Pokemon, um, for the financial means. And honestly, he'd probably get crowned and like cheered on for being honest about that, just because he's at that level. He's obviously not a CCR, but he's got, like, 17,000 people, that are subscribed to him, and it continues to climb. I think he's almost at 18,000. So, it's just, again, like, when you get to a certain point, you have to do some crazy shit to, like, lose your fan base. You do develop, like, diehard people. Yeah, no, I don't think Danny's unauthentic at all. I just think he's in a weird spot. This is his income, man, and he's got kids. I think he's got like 2 or 3 girls. So it's just like you don't want to go back to a 9 to 5. He's his own boss. He makes his own schedules. Um, he's got the YouTube, he's got the business, and it's not like, let's be honest, it's not like he's making hands over fists. The guy has been selling at MSRP and selling out in 10 minutes, 20 minutes every single freaking drop, where other people, they get the same amount of product and they get, instead of, let's say Danny gets, $250,000 Chaos Rising drop, right? When the booster boxes go live. Like, let's say that's his revenue is 250,000. Brian from Pokey&E might sell the same amount and make 500,000 or 600,000, just because he charges double or triple, for the same thing. So it's yeah, again, man, it's I've learned this and I've talked to a couple people, and I don't consider myself like a good guy. I try to be a good human being, and a lot of the time I come up short. Um, and you got to pay the piper for it too. But the good people, they tend to finish last. Like, and that's the sad part is we live in a society now where it almost seems like the shittier you are as an individual, like at your core, as like a human being, the more rewarded you are by society. And good people, the people that do care, and the people that are trying to do things for the right reasons, they are the ones that end up getting bent over and fucked, is what it seems like. So, not trying to be negative, just perception, and again, not talking about myself. So, do not take that in any way, shape, or form. Um, but yeah, yeah, I hear you, Brandon. Like, I'm still sub to CTR. I've not watched CTR in mm, I don't know, like months, years, like not years, like 6 months, something like that. Let's see. It's definitely more chill than most sub communities. Yeah, that's what I want to be. I wanted to try to make it as much as I can. I feel like you guys, like, we're all friends, like we could all get together and it'd just be like, obviously be like, hey, what's up? Like, good to finally meet you. But just just hang out and chill, like it wouldn't be any different. Some of these people, like, they're idolized, and I find that extremely goofy. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Thomas. They're one and the same. Yeah, it's true. A lot of people that don't like Alex, they end up being just like Alex to an extent. Been watching more pack openings recently. So you've been watching a lot of CTR and what is Leonhard open up packs anymore? I don't know. That guy's ultra goofy. I think he's got like 12 million subscribers or something like that. Crazy. Probably PokeRev. I don't know. I mean, with you, I'd be opening pack openings too. I'd be watching that because you pulling everything under the sun. Yeah, I agree, Lechonk. Yeah, yeah, like I feel bad for Danny. I do, and I think he is trying to be like, I know I deserve this, and I'm just not getting it. So, um, I hope he doesn't follow through with it. Um, but I'm good regardless. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't upload a bunch like once a week or whatever, but I could go to 20 views and I'd be happy with 20 views. It's not really what I want my channel to be. This is more of what I want my channel to be, whether it slows me down or not, I could give two shits. So, but I could understand like Danny, again, being there. He used to be affiliated with Pokemon. He's put a lot of his life into Pokemon. And to see people that don't care whether they did and they no longer do or they never did, being more successful than him, it would make me mad as well. I struggled with it. Feels good, self-fan. Yeah, dude. I mean, drunk, it sounds like you're killing it, bro. Like I said, mad respect to you for doing the MSRP and hooking up your community and just doing what you think's the right thing to do. Um, yeah, man. I mean, I get why people are taking the easy route and charging market or right under market when they get distro, right? When they get distro. Um, but I think it speaks more volumes of you as a human being or you as a man or a woman, that you're not allowing the greed to take control of you and you're trying to still be a crucial part of your community while not taking advantage of people. Especially because, dude, life's fucking hard. Life's hard, right? With everybody. The war is over, apparently. Um, but gas is still kind of up there depending on where you live. Groceries are expensive. Renting, housing, electric, water, gas. Uh, it's all expensive. So, you know, the more you can do, the better, I think. Yep, Brandon, you get it as well. Just PokeRabbit, Mystic Rips, and Pokevault. The trio. Well, look at Ian Hart says a lot about how people reward you. Yeah, yeah, dude, 100%, 100%. Yeah, yeah. I know, like I said, I know people find Danny goofy. Um, he is a goofy person for sure, but I find Ian Hart way more. I don't know, man. What is it? I don't know. Just he's more goofy than Danny is. So but like that's the same thing about like Real Breaking Nate too. I used to like Real Breaking Nate and maybe he's like just a super good go-getter guy. I don't know, but it becomes too much. But I get it too. Pokemon is a kid's card game. At the end of the day, no matter how much people want to argue that content probably like mine, 600 smash or pass, drinking, smoking weed, smoking cigars, like that's probably not the best look. But I think that it is a niche inside of a niche. You're not just putting on a mask and being like, "Hey guys, how are you guys doing today?" Like a fucking Blippy, for teenagers and young adults. Like, I don't know. I feel like the being raw is cool, you know, um, and there needs to be more of it, but that will never fucking happen. I can promise you that. Annoying is what I think when I think of Leonhardt. Yeah, I mean, I I hope that they're that genuinely happy. I do. Like I said, I used to watch the shit out of Leonhardt. I used to watch the shit out of Real Breaking Nate, especially like his Target series where he would go looking under, um, what is it? The shelves and stuff like that, go to Dollar General, you know, like the grinding, where he was really grinding. Not like he's not grinding now, but I mean, hey, you can only do stuff for so long before you run out of ideas. I mean, I'm not even a year into this, and I'm like, what do I do? Well, you know, what do I talk about? What do I like? You know, just trying to mix it up. So imagine, but it was different back then too. You know, it wasn't 14,000 different people making same content over and over and over. You know, so Real Breaking Eight was your childhood. He wasn't my childhood, but I definitely was subscribed to him for a very long time. That is facts, Brandon. I don't know about predatory. That might be a little bit like I get what you're saying, but it definitely is trying to favor towards the kids for sure. Of a mill to pass on my daughter, but I'm doing it on my terms. Yeah, dude. $1,000,000 is, you know, it's nothing to squawk at. So that's awesome, bro. Um, I hope I'm sure I'm not even a hope. I'm sure that you will be able to accomplish that and probably much more. Um, you know, I I think again, yeah, you stick by your morals, stick by your guns, doing what is the right thing to do, not what is the easiest thing to do. Because you could make that $1,000,000, right? You could make that $1,000,000 real quick, but do you have that longevity to continue to do that? How does that affect your reputation? You know, and I think your reputation is what's most important. It's not about how many people like you, how many people don't like you, what people think about you. I mean, it is what people think about you, but it's like you could be the nicest person in the world, but if you behind closed doors you're a dickhead, like that will get out eventually, you know. But I believe you'll totally accomplish that, and I'm trying to kinda do the same thing for my kids, except for not I hope I live longer till they're 18, you know, I hope I live in their, like, 50, 60, 70, um, but I just wanna be able to give them a good start to life where they don't have to worry about taking on debt at such a young age and putting themselves back far in life, so that's my goal with it, and, of course, to start a business. I would love to have an online store, um, and be able to hook up people with products at a reasonable price, just like, you know, um, just like you're able to do. That's my goal, and I will accomplish that. I will I will have an online store selling Pokemon and who knows what else, and doing my best to help out the community as much as I possibly can. Some people are born with a artistic mindset, 100%. I think I think what it comes down to, and it's not really so much about morals. I mean, it does have to come down to morals, But I think what it comes down to is what are you willing to do? What what are you willing to sacrifice? What is your line in the sand that you're not willing to cross? Um, and I think in order to have success and fame, people will and do choose to do things that they don't necessarily want to do in order to accomplish those goals. Um, I am of the belief that if you are doing something that you don't want to do, but you're doing it, for whatever reason, that you may have short-term success, but you will not have long-term success. And so it depends on what you're wanting to accomplish. And also that's relative. Your short term could be 5 years. It could be 10 years. It just depends. But as far as you know, I don't think it's a mindset. I just think it's a willingness to do certain things that you just don't really want to do, but you're going to do them because you don't want to have a 9 to 5. Or you want to be a millionaire or a billionaire or whatever the case may be. So. I only a musician and artist. I don't know anything about creativity. Hey, bro, that's not true. That's creativity all day long. Growing up with shop, they remember me. It's a good feeling. I had a family come in today to say goodbye since they were moving away. Their mom thanked me for what I do. Yeah, bro. Like that's awesome. Truly. Like I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. If I didn't think so, I wouldn't tell you so. But like that's what it should be about. And I feel like we as far as like the hobby um, have lost that. It's not completely lost, but I feel like a majority of it has been lost. So, um, obviously, I will be your biggest cheerleader. I can't order stuff from Canada um, right now. I don't think it makes much sense, but if I could, I absolutely would. But it doesn't seem like you have a problem moving off of your product anyway, so you don't need my help. But yeah, that's great. Yeah, Brandon, I feel like when XL takes over, they're gonna run the show. I hope if they need help with, retail or, like they need other distros, for the LGSs, for the online stores. I hope if that is still a thing, that they make them sign a contract where they are legally obligated to sell at X price point. It doesn't matter if it's reprints, restocks, first wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave. I hope Pokemon has something in writing of legality where like something like MJ can't make a secondary store on Walmart to hold on to product to sell at 4 times, MSRP or market or anything like that. So it's just there's a lot of interesting things that are going on with Pokemon right now. A ton of interesting things that really just make you question why is Pokemon doing what they're doing and what are their intentions? And I can see the more that we go through this, the more I can see why people feel like Pokemon doesn't care. And then I can also see why people argue that Pokemon does care. Because a lot of what they're doing is not, it makes sense and then it doesn't make sense. It makes sense. Hey, they're buying up this printing facility, they're buying up a distro, they're buying trucks, but then we don't see anything change. We're still having the same problems. The print numbers are less when they said they're at full capacity, when there's no possible way they're at full capacity and printed less than the year prior when they had cut back their print after temporal forces. It's there's a lot of weird, uncertainty stuff, and again, I feel like and we'll see sooner than later, but I feel like it's 30th man. I do. I do, and I don't agree with it. I think it's still shitty. I think that Pokemon are dicks if that's what they're doing. Artificial demand, scarcity, hype, um, but I hope that that's what they're doing. I hope that it's a punishment of raising up MSRP and for the 30th anniversary. If not, then I think it's easy to say that they've given up, that they don't care about, um, you know, uh, secondary market, about people being able to get their hands on packs, being able to enjoy these new sets that come out, being able to experience them unless they want to pay $10, $15 a brand new set. And I struggle to believe that that's what Pokemon wants to do. I truly do. But I think we'll find out the answer sooner than later. What's my plan when I'm making my Pokemon store? So I don't think it'll just be Pokemon. Um, I think, it'll be, other TC I mean, I would love to eventually at some point get into other TCGs. Like I pre-ordered Palworld, which I'm excited to experience. I hope that it's good. Um, probably primarily focus will be on Pokemon, but it'll just, it'll be kind of like how Danny does it, have an online store. I don't want a brick and mortar. Um, I don't also want to strictly focus on sealed. I want to focus on singles, preferably more raw than graded, because that's kind of where my heart lies is with singles. And just try to give the best prices that I can at all times. Bear market, bull market, good, bad, it doesn't really matter. Just be an overall rounded store, you know. Um, that's kind of my plan. Nothing too crazy. Um, just try to be a store that's considerate of normal human beings. Um, obviously not lose my ass, but and honestly, the biggest thing is I'd be my own boss. I'd be providing for myself. Um, and I could do it with my kids, I could wake up in the morning, go downstairs. I've got tons of room downstairs to be able to package, and we're gonna homeschool our children, my three youngest children. So when they're done, they can come down and they can help package stuff up and just kind of make it like a family thing that they'll always remember, and it'll be a core memory for them, hopefully a good one, So it's kind of that's my ideal goal. It'd be a massive L if TPCI does
100%, bro. 100%.
not being able to sell PC specific items at their event or anything graded or anything over 1K in value. Very interesting. Yeah, but here's the thing. They said that, and then at their like freaking next event, um, they had the Pokemon Center vending machines with Ascended Heroes, Chaos Rising. I think it was perfect order. People were able to buy it, and then they were going to vendors at that event and selling them. Um, to those vendors. So what Pokemon said that they were not going to allow to happen, they allowed to happen. So it's just like again, it helps make that argument like Pokemon doesn't care. Um, I just don't get what they're doing. And I'll be honest, I'm not gonna continue to defend them. That sounds wrong, but I'm not gonna continue to be like a cheerleader for them of like, Guys, they do care. Guys, they love you. Guys, they want product to be readily available. Guys, they want singles to be cheaper. Like they've got to give me something at some point. I'm willing to this year, going into next year, I'm willing to give them some leeway, and then after that, I'm just gonna be like, you know what? It is what it is. I'm not gonna again, it's not like I'm gonna be going to fucking market and buying everything up or anything like that. Um, but they haven't heard a shit. What? Past year and a half. They have I don't know what that means, Brandon. I'm sorry. I think that they're spreading out packs more in non-booster box products, so it feels like there are more buying opportunities for people. I guess so, man, like, I get that for sure, like, instead of putting making booster boxes, they're putting the packs into, bundles, ETBs, 3 packs, 1 pack, 2 packs, collection boxes. Ugh, it doesn't matter. Truthfully, it doesn't matter. Um I'm still hardly ever able to find packs where I live, and I don't live in a big city. I don't live with, hundreds and millions of people living in my city, and it's still like, I can go to GameStop and find all the packs I want, but I gotta pay damn near market for them, and I'm not doing that. It doesn't make any sense to me. So what they're doing right now is not working. Now do they need to cut back on the ancillary bullshit? Probably. Instead of coming out with 15 different collection boxes, they need to have 3 collection boxes like, they need to do ETBs, bundles, collection box, and a couple tins. The fact that we have 6 new tins coming out over the next 2 months on top of the Luminos City tins and the tins that come out for these sets. Like, there's just so much ancillary bullshit. There's just not enough. There's especially with the waves and the limits where people are able to get 5 of each item. It doesn't matter. They need to cut back on the amount of ancillary product that they're doing to try to get more product into people's actual hands. Um, they can focus, they can print more of that, but they're doing the Pokemon thing. They're spreading themselves super thin, just printing and printing and printing just 13,000 different items. So at least that's what I feel like. I will say I have more and more MSRP product piling up. If I were a case study, what Pokemon is doing at the moment is working. Awesome. Awesome. I hope that that continues to happen. I do. Hopefully, it's not just a Canada thing. Hopefully, it's the America thing. I know that my LGS right next to me, they're sealed. They're having a hard time selling their sealed right now. But what's the price point where, because they're not selling at MSRP, they're selling at market. At what point does it reach where people are feeling comfortable to buy that again? I don't know. There's a lot of things. I'm sure in California though, it doesn't matter. They could do 1.5 times MSRP or market, and people are probably still buying it. So I hope again. Hopefully that's a you know America Canada situation. You just it's hard to tell. They haven't shown us shit. You're right, Brandon. They have not. Yep, all valid points, Chew. Yeah, blood. That's my goal. It's probably gonna be a long ride. Hopefully, you guys are still here for when that happens. But that's my plan. My plan is probably, you know, try to work that out over the next 5 years to get that business up, get the capital, um, and up and running. So, obviously, if I could do it sooner, I would love to. I don't see that happening at this current moment, but anything is possible. So, it's not if I'm going to do it, it's when I'm going to do it is the true question. So, uh, yeah, hopefully you stick around. If not, maybe you come around in 5 years or whatever, and you're like, "Oh, I don't even know who this guy is," and you buy from me and you have a great experience. I don't know. Yeah, for sure, blood. Yeah, you're right, Chew. You're right. If they're trying to do most amount of money, most amount of packs, it would be booster boxes, booster bundles, ETBs, but they're deciding not to do that. So, again, we'll see what they do, um, later this year, next year. That's gonna be, I think, the true indication, um, and also, I'll be honest, I don't think that next year we're gonna continue to boom like this. I don't I feel like we have to crash. I feel like we can't just flatline, but I guess anything is possible at this point. Yeah, I appreciate that, Drunk. It's just a goal that I'm working towards right now. I'm trying to get all my debts paid, trying to have, very little outgoing money as far as, like, ideally, I would like to just have my house and, like, my son will be 16 in, like, 3 years, um, so I probably have to get a car for him, but in all honesty, I would just like to have my house and electric, water, groceries, and maybe a car payment or 2, that would be it. And if I could have that, then I think I'd be good to go. So, and I'm trying to build up, um, just some capital on the side because I don't wanna go in at freaking like, I wouldn't wanna go in at 10,000 or take a line of take out a credit card with $50,000 like some of these people have done, and it's worked for them, but also it was a completely different market back then as well. I'm not gonna take that kind of risk with my family involved, with 4 children, a wife. I'm not gonna take that kind of risk. I wanna be, you know, smart. Um I wanna be smart about it and try to be as little leverage as I possibly can to, just in case, because you never know what's gonna happen, so yeah, drunk, but here's the thing, like, I agree, we can't crash, but, like, if we do have a crash, people will buy, but then when they realize that it's continuing to crash no matter how much they do buy, then eventually they will stop buying. So it's gonna come down to demand and what Pokemon does with printing, man. That's those are the 2 factors. It sounds super simple, and it is that simple, but it's gotta be a perfect harmony for for it to work. So, yeah, I can't, man, I can't see it go for another freaking year. I can't see 2028. I just can't. It's gotta And I feel like a lot of people, which is scary, a lot of people are saying a couple months after the 30th. So take that January, February, March, April of next year. The hype's gonna die, the market's gonna cool off. It is a little scary when the majority tends to agree with you because that can mean either 2 things. Typically, it means it's not gonna happen, happen because if everyone's expecting it to happen, then it won't happen, or it could force it to happen. We'll wait and see. But yeah, all these people, I know some people are big believers in, well, everyone's sitting on the sidelines, will buy it all up, then we're gonna go back up, the market will never end, the crash will never end, the crash will never happen. It's yeah, print and, uh, and demand. Those are the 2 important things. So, doot, doot, doot. We got a pop star little business 2012, and now it's both our full-time jobs. Abso-freaking-lutely, brother. Absolutely. That's what I want. I have been treated like poo-poo. My Started working when I was 16. I think I'm 32. I might be 31. I was born in '95. I don't know what that makes me. 31? 31. So, almost, I don't know, what is that, like 15 years? 15 years. Every job I've had, I've been treated like crap at some point. I'm tired of making people a bunch of fucking money, and, I wanna either sink or swim on my own. And I wanna be able to the most important thing is I wanna be able to spend time with my kids. And I am not able to spend time with my kids. And you know that for a fact when your daughter asks their mother if their dad is going to be home for bedtime um, every night. So yeah, that's my motivation. Oh, let's see. What's up, Korean guy? Yeah, thanks for coming by, man. I was wondering if you were gonna show up. We're chilling. We're probably gonna wrap it up here in a minute. We've been holding strong though. Um, but my wife is on call. Gotta be responsible. We'll chill out tomorrow as well. So I would like to also start a business after the military. I'm going to college. I'm pretty sure I can do it while in the military and start a business that people always need, like landscaping, etc. Yeah, for sure you can, Pablo. Just make sure whatever you do, especially if you're going to try to do it in the military, depending on what kind of branch that you're in and what your, specific title is, that you either have somebody or the business will be okay if you do have to go overseas, um, or you have to go on, like, say you join the Navy, right? Sometimes you'll be at home, sometimes you'll be in the ocean for 3, 4 months. You can't do a fucking landscaping business for that time. So just I mean, anything's possible for sure, especially with the military. There's housing, there's a lot of benefits to the military, with loans, especially. Um, I would just make sure that you cover your business because the most important thing with your business is being available. And if you're not, because your job, your actual job, your military job takes you away for an extended amount of time, then your business will suffer because of that. So that would be my only recommendation. Of course, depending on what you do, right? If you're a drop shipper, you don't have to worry about that. You can still drop ship as long as there's Wi-Fi. So, yeah, in Southern California, mainly selling artwork, anything is possible. Yeah, California, that's true. You could be a crackhead one day and a celebrity the next day. Only only in California can that become a possibility. So, here's a scary fact about current market. Almost none of my customers know this is an anniversary year for Pokemon. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I mean, I feel like if you're a Pokemon fan, you would have to know that it's the 30th anniversary, right? Or maybe you're such a fan that you don't give a shit about the 30th anniversary. You're just buying Pokemon because it's a lifestyle. I'm very curious to see if you're still in here drunk, what you what you think about that. I feel like it's a bad thing, but I could also see how that's a good thing at the same time. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. Anybody that's we got 13 people, we got a couple people that are chatting. What do you guys think about that? How do you guys take that? Do you think that that's a good or a bad thing? I don't know. Kids are a hell of a motivator from what I hear. They can be, bro, for sure, for sure. I got great kids, but me and my 13, 14-year-old, we don't get along super well. Hopefully one day we will. Um, but, I can only do what I can do in that aspect. But my other kids, they're great kids as well, and I just wanna try to give them the best life that I can. I had my son when I was 17, so, I wasn't able the best I could do was work 2 jobs, work, 16 hours a day, never home, but try to provide for him and, his pay his mom and stuff like that, so, but yeah, man, I mean, it's hard, for sure. Don't think that because, people have kids and you don't have kids that, like, it's easy or it's always fun, like, it is and it isn't. I'll come home after working fucking 14 hours, right? And my kids, they're about to go to bed, they see me, and they give me a hug, and as soon as they're done giving me a hug, they're telling me to sit down on the couch, and then they jump on me and pu and, like, beat me up, you know? So, it can be challenging for sure, but it's rewarding, you know? Um, my wife gets mad sometimes because my she wants to spend time together, and my kids are, like, up, and they're having like, they're running around the house and having fun and being loud and waking up the baby, and, I'm like, "But that's a sign of happy kids," you know? Like, that's not me patting myself on the back or patting her or saying, like, we're great parents, you know? We all have our own we have our faults, we have our own demons, issues, but the fact that you have children and they're running around the house and they don't have to worry about like, their parents yelling at them or screaming at them or, like, they don't have a care in the world. They're just being kids. Like, that should tell you that you're doing something right, That's a sign of a happy kid or happy kids. So, yeah. Let's see. Nope, parents and kids, Pokemon is growing exponentially at this point. More and more people keep hearing about it though, so many different avenues. It's not slowing down. It's wild. Yeah, for sure, man. Let's see. Good thing for me. Need people not to buy the 30th. Okay, good luck, Korean. I think you're gonna have to be patient on the 30th, but you'll get your hands on some. You'll get your hands on some. I don't know what set will be out when you get your hands on it, but you'll be able to get it for sure. Just be patient. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're on a constant recycle, like a door, a revolving door of people leaving, people coming in, people leaving, people coming in. Um, yeah, we're getting some people that keep going in that revolving door. They just keep going around and around and around and enjoying the experience. But I feel like there is just a ton of people leaving and coming back into the hobby or, coming into the hobby for the first time, or they haven't been back since 5 years or whatever. So, it is surprising though, the amount of people that don't know it's an anniversary year. So, gonna get all the benefits, max everything out like the VA loans. Maybe I can start a construction business building houses using the VA loans maybe. Yeah, man. It's gonna come down to your work ethic, man. If you're building a business, you can't just. I mean, you got to put in the hours, and it's gonna be, it's a lot of hours. It's hard days, hard weeks, hard weekends, and you just got to have the drive and the motivation. You got to ask yourself that. It's easy. It's easy to think that you wanna do something, but then when push comes to shove, do you have that motivation to get your butt up every day at 3 o'clock in the morning to get to a site, to sweat your balls off for 14 hours to meet the timeline that you've given to a customer? Um, do not, I mean, do whatever you want, right? But I would recommend you not, if that's some form of avenue you're looking at, do not start a business and start looking for people to run that business for you. so you can sip mojitos on the beach. You will not be doing that business or be the owner of that business for very long. You're gonna have to put in a lot of time and effort and energy, and it's gonna push you, but if you can keep going, it's gonna be rewarding. I've weighed the options many times. Yeah, man. No, you no, for sure, buddy. I mean, like I said, I always knew I wanted to have kids, so it's no big deal to me. But it's definitely not like neither side is a fairy tale, if that makes sense. You might have all the money in the world, be able to go on vacations every fucking week, not have to work because you don't have kids. Um, but then you miss out on something that I do think is important. But then also you have kids, you have people with kids and they don't raise their kids, they don't teach their kids, manners, how the society really works. They just stick them on a tablet, a phone, a PC, gaming console, anything to keep them out of their hair so they can do whatever the fuck they want to do. Um, so yeah, man, it's just a double-edged sword. Um, if you never really had a desire to have kids, then I'd say it's not for you. If you had a desire, then maybe you missed something, but at the end of the day, it's only for you to decide. So, let's see. Happy Father's Day from the Fullhead crew. Yeah, dude, I didn't even know Father's Day was coming up. My wife told me it was Father's Day on Sunday. So we're still gonna chill tomorrow, tonight, today, tonight. If you guys wanna come by, if not, I know some of you guys will be out with your dads, stuff like that. My dad's out of town building his beach house, so, I will be here 10:30 Central, whatever time zone that is for you. We'll hang out for a couple hours and chill. So, if anybody wants to show up, great. If not, it'd be an easy night for me. Yeah, for sure, drunk. Understand. Having a kid at 17 must have been tough. I can't imagine having a kid now in the economy, let alone 17. Kudos to you. No, I mean, yeah, it was what it was. So I did the best I could do. I wasn't perfect, but I did the best I could do. Thomas, I appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for coming by. Have a fantastic Father's Day with your family. In case I do not see you, I have no excuse. I got everything. I don't need to worry about anything other than my own future. And that motivates me. I want to have the best future possible, especially when my parents are supportive. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think everybody wants to have the best future possible. That's not always how life works. That's not me being negative. That's just the truth of life. Um, I don't think a homeless person thinks they're going to be homeless when they're a teenager. So, again, I would, yeah. I mean, the military, at least that's something. Um, it'll give you stability. Um, I would I would do your military time. Uh, kind of feel it out. Like my cousin, he was in the army and he was a crane. He became a crane operator. So now he that's his job. That's his career is a crane operator. So um, yeah, it'll help you figure out. I wouldn't commit to anything. I just people have fairy tales, you know what I'm saying? Like, people think, "Oh, man, I love the thought of architecture." But then they go to school for it, and then they fucking hate it, and they don't use it, or they hate their life. They have all the money in the world, but they hate what they're doing. So, that's the only thing is just, like, make sure I wouldn't rush into anything, man. But yeah, if you want it bad enough, you'll make it work. If you don't want it bad enough, waste your time. Don't waste your time. At the end of the day, do the best you can do. I guess that'd be my advice. Sometimes life gives you a bad fucking hand, and that's not an excuse. It's not a cop out. You can always rise above it. But sometimes life's gonna kick you in the dick a couple times before it lets you stand up. So Military's good as long as the government doesn't file to decide any crazy shit. Nah, we ain't gonna invade no Canada. Even if we did invade Canada, you guys would just give us maple syrup and a six pack of beer and say, I don't know, welcome to Canada. You like moose? I don't know. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. See? But even Blood, like Blood said, he had to do food, construction, like sometimes you gotta do shit you don't wanna do. But eventually it worked out for him. He loved art. Now he gets to do art. You can leave your kids without a home or yourself become homeless. Hold on. I'll get back to that comment here in a second. God, moose tastes so good. I've never had moose. That was like a stupid Canadian joke. I feel like it's easier for younger people to make mistakes early on because when you get older, you can leave your kids without a home or yourself become homeless. Dude, it doesn't fucking matter. Like straight up honesty, uh, like if you have kids, right? We're talking about a hypothetical situation. Like not everybody has kids. Um, As long as you don't leave them in crippling debt, it doesn't matter. Like, yeah, you want the best for your kids. Everybody would love to leave their kids with fucking $10,000,000. I'm sure Drunk would love to if he could, I'm sure he'd love to leave his kid, I think he said his daughter, but he would love to leave her or they with, you know, $1,000,000,000. Um, but, like, the whole thing about people are like, leaving houses and money, like, you're not promised any of that. Trust me, from experience. My parents are both alive, but growing up, my parents told me when they died, I was going to get multi-million dollars, from inheritance. Since then, because my parents are no longer together and life situations have changed for both of them, I am probably going to get lucky to get, like, maybe $100,000. So, now, yes, when you're younger in life, you're able to make those mistakes. If you do not have children, you will still make mistakes. You'll be 50 years old making fucking mistakes. That is part of life. Um, there's no you'll never be smart enough to not make mistakes. Um, but I would make your mistakes before you have children for sure, because it does complicate things a lot. But yeah, I mean, the whole home, house, just don't leave your kids with debt. That's it. Make sure that you leave them with enough money that they don't have to pay for your funeral. You cover your own funeral costs, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And be a good fucking human being. Be a good dad. Be a good mom. Be a good whoever you are. Um, and that's all that really truly matters at the end of the day. So I just don't support that narrative. But each some. Make the mistakes, file bankruptcy. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I grew up dirt poor. When my dad passed, I got a watch and 260 bucks. It's been a long road for me, but it's all about the next generation for sure. For sure. You can be the you can be the change. You can be the change for future generations. Absolutely. Yeah. So, all right, gents. We went 2 hours. Appreciate you guys. I'm gonna wrap it up for the night. Go in, eat some food, go to sleep, get up in like 4 hours. I know a lot of people talking about their parents leaving them money or assets. I pay for my parents. Damn, bro, that's rough. That's rough, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that, Korean guy. But hey, you know what? You're better than 95% of people in this world. If it makes you feel any better, I know it probably doesn't, and I'm sure your parents probably don't tell you enough how much they appreciate it. Um, But yeah, there's a lot of people that don't do that. So, um, Done everything but perfect. Yeah, there you go, Paul. Just have a good work ethic, you'll be fine. Don't be afraid of work. That's all it comes down to. Drunk, have a good night. Appreciate you guys as always. Roxy, Brandon, Thomas, Pablo, Drunk, Korean guy, Ghost Watchers. I hope I didn't leave anybody else out. Did I leave anybody else out? I don't think so. Oh, LeChonk. Didn't forget about LeChonk. Anyways, no, they tell me I have loving parents financially. Competent parents. That's what it's blood. Appreciate you guys as always. I will see you guys tomorrow. If not, enjoy Father's Day, whether you're a father or you're hanging out with your dad or stepdads or adopted parents. If I don't see you guys, have a great rest of the weekend. I'll see you guys sometime next week with another video. Good night. Love you guys. Later.